everybody. Happy Sunday. I just wanted to share a little video today with some helpful tools and a guided meditation that some of us might benefit from at this point in time. A lot of things are moving through our systems. A lot of old traumas are coming up and out. People are being asked to confront their fears and their emotional blocks and to really make some big decisions about facing their fears and doing what we have to do or pushing them away, which ultimately leads us to feeling uneasy or uncomfortable or even sick. So this is an important time for us as human beings on planet Earth to really take time for ourselves to look within and to process what's happening in our lives, in our bodies, to slow down and listen so that we can truly get the messages that are being sent to all of us about how we can better heal ourselves and live happier, more easy flowing lives, because we all just want to flow, right? We just love that feeling when things just go smoothly and there's joy and contentment. And, you know, we can have these things. Of course, life will present obstacles, challenges, but it's how we choose to interact with these changes in the path. Rather than fighting with them, we can learn to trust them and lean into the discomfort. That's kind of the theme of this little practice this morning, is to leaning in to perhaps a little deeper, a little more into those places that we're like, I don't know if I want to do that, but just, learning how to trust and breathe into that space, because it's in that little realm of discomfort where we end up needing to do the work and needing to spend time there and look at that place, and then we can start making room. So this morning I just wanted to sit with you, and I hope you'll join me in a short little practice focusing on self-care and self-love and leaning in to our growth. So if you'll join me, you can come to a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on a bolster with a blanket. If you don't have a bolster, the official yoga term, you can just have a pillow or some rolled up blanket underneath you, just so that your hips are up a little bit. Your hands can rest on your thighs and your eyes can gently close, and begin to just notice your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just coming into your space, coming into your body. Feeling your sits bones rooting down underneath you, and your shoulders might come up to your ears and bring them back and down. And just continue your nice calm breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then eventually closing the mouth and just continuing to breathe smooth and calm in through the nose with a slight retention at the top. Just hold and then release it through the nose. So coming into a bit of an ujjayi breath with a little retention of the breath at the top and then at the bottom. Cultivating awareness of our own bodies, this moment, this breath. You can blink the eyes open. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Nice, let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. We'll begin our practice this morning by chanting the sound of Om together, which is kind of fun to do over video. So if you'll join me, we'll take a breath to prepare, in and out. Now we'll inhale together in Om. And in this moment, just give yourself an intention for your practice. I am grounded and centered, perhaps. Or I am aware of my body. and spirit. Or perhaps I am at peace. Just choose something that calls to you. Don't overthink it. Just the first thing and say it as though it's already happening. And with that, we're going to inhale, reach on up. Hands come to heart. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open up the arms. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round over a big imaginary beach ball. Drop the head and just flow with your breath. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, rounding over. Feel the shoulder blades spreading apart as you round over that beach ball. Maybe pausing and just feeling for a moment in a specific space and then opening up. Listening to your body. One more time. Excellent, and drop the hands. We're going to inhale, reach on up again, and then taking a twist over our left. So just inhale and lengthen and turning, gazing over the shoulder just slightly. Imagine a string pulling from the crown of your head, lifting you up and twisting. Excellent, and come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting over the other side, gazing over the shoulder. Perhaps lifting your head up, nodding, yes and no. Inhale, lengthen the spine and just gaze slightly further over the shoulder. Yes nods, feel great. And coming back to center. We're just going to inhale one more time. Open the chest, reach on up, and gently reach forward. I have to move my candle so I don't burn myself. And just walk forward. Maybe at this point you're going to remove the bolster or the pillow or whatever you have and adjust your feet, but just coming forward a little bit. Perhaps it's just a little today, just swaying, creating some movement in the hips, some fluidity in your movements, really noticing what you're feeling. You know, this is about you, and perhaps you want to just come to the side and open your side body. For me today, I'm feeling it here. So just kind of taking a moment to feel. Don't think about the shape, but just noticing, you know, where's the tension? Where is the tightness? What's sensitive? What feels really good right now? Perhaps it's just sitting up a little and leaning forward. Perhaps it's the snake-like movement. Perhaps it's taking a twist. Perhaps let's play with that twist. I realize I just said perhaps a lot. And that's kind of a fun way to think of your yoga practice. You know, perhaps if I try this, I might like it. But you just don't know unless you're experimental and playful. So go ahead and switch your legs, crisscross the other way. And just before we move on, we're just going to do some circles with the rib cage. So just forward, hands on your knees, and just kind of rolling, open. And the other side, reverse. Drawing circles with your chest. Awesome, and coming back to center. And then we'll inhale, reach out up. And then just doing the same, walking forward with our feet, crisscross the other way this time. And just noticing here, listening to what your muscles are telling you. Is there tightness? Where is your edge? In yoga classes, people often talk about the edge, the place in each asana or each pose in which our body is being pushed, but right on the brink of too far. That's a huge part of your yoga practice and life really, is knowing when enough is enough, but also knowing where you need a little push. That's a really hard thing that most people struggle with is, you know, we don't like discomfort. We don't want that. So typically we say, I'm all set. I'm not going to go farther. But that edge is where you can find the growth. And it's not easy. But letting yourself learn how to push yourself is very important. Awesome. All right, let's come to all fours, tabletop position. And we're just going to flow through some cat and cow. So inhale, drop the belly, gaze comes up. And exhale, rounding out through the back and just flowing with your breath at this point. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, gaze comes up, belly drops. Hands are pressed firmly into the mat. And come back to neutral. And inhale as you press your right foot back behind you. Strong foot pressing like there's a wall behind you. We'll come forward so you can see. Press. Then we're going to bend the knee and open up the hip. Rolling the ankle around. Waking up the whole thigh. Take some circles. Hip circles in one direction and then reverse your direction. And bring it back down, nice. Cat and cow. Inhale. Exhale, round it out. Come back to neutral. Square the hips so they're flat, kind of facing perpendicular to the earth, and engage the core as you press back through that other foot. Like you're pressing against a wall. Hips are squared, so we don't want this. We want nice square hips. With those hips, you're going to bend the top leg, open up the hip, waking up the ankle and the foot, rolling it around in the socket. And then beginning your circles with your knee. Both directions. And bringing back down, awesome. Widen the hands to the outer edges of the mat. Bring the knees close together. You're gonna use your upper body strength to hold you as you sink your hips to the right, bending in the elbows, just kind of creating a J shape in the spine, and then coming back to center as you inhale, and exhale, dip to the side. Again, on both sides. Once again, lingering somewhere, maybe you just go, oh, I gotta go back a little, I gotta move to the side. Whatever feels good, whatever your body needs is what is perfect. All right, and then bringing the knees out a little bit, coming back to our table, you're gonna walk your hands forward a bit, preparing for downward facing dog. So you're gonna curl the toes under with nice wide fingers, middle fingers pressing, reaching forward. You're going to engage the belly, lift up the knees. I usually start with bent legs and then straighten out behind you. Up, downward facing dog. And begin your dog by walking out your dog like you're climbing little baby steps on a mountain. And inhaling through the nose. Maybe an exhale out the mouth. Now fingers are pressing into the mat. The pads, the finger pads, and come to stillness. Breathing in your downward dog for just a few more moments. And then bending the knees, begin to walk the hands back to meet your feet at the back of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, folding over with bent knees. Let your belly rest on your thighs and just release the head and neck and sway in a forward fold. Perhaps clasping opposite elbows. Inhale, hands come to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna bend, sweep, reach the arms up to the top of the mat. Hands come to heart center. Nice. Inhale, bend, sweep, reach. Hands come to heart. Awesome. Inhale, lift the right knee up. Arms come up beside your ears. Shoulders come down. We're gonna bring the foot across the upper thigh. Hands can come down to heart center here. Finding a drishti to focus on, some space for our eyes to land. Just holding this hip opening stretch for a moment, perhaps bending in the standing leg, and then begin to fold, so at the hips, bending forward. Ever so slightly, this might be enough for you today. Wherever you start to notice sensation, breathe into that sensation and then see if you can go a bit further, find your edge. You know, maybe this is it today. Or perhaps you bring your hands closer to the earth, onto blocks. Or perhaps, if it's in your practice, coming into a bit of a flying pigeon. It's good to play. Wherever you are, one more breath. And come on up. Release the leg, inhale, reach on up. Exhale, dive forward. Shake it out, bend the legs a little. Inhale, hands come to the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend, sweep, reach. Lifting the left leg this time. Foot is flexed. Hands are strong, intentional beside the ears. Shoulders drop. Breathe here for a moment. And then crossing over the left leg. Hands come to heart. Remaining upright for just a moment. Finding your focal point, your drishti. Coming back to your intention, perhaps. I am grounded and aware. I am strong. Whatever it is. And then beginning to fold. Finding your edge. This side might be different, and perhaps your arms feel, inclined to try a different variation. Maybe you want to have some wings today, or come up a bit and come back down into your bind. Something else to play with. Or perhaps trying, my cinnamon raisin bread is almost done. It's gluten-free, so we'll see how that comes out. Hands come to heart center. Excellent, release the legs down. Shake out the hips, inhale, bend, sweep, reach. Hands come to heart. Awesome, and let's come in the mountain pose for a moment. Feet are pressing into the earth, all four corners. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Hands are shining forward. And closing our eyes for a moment, breathing. Noticing our bodies. Where's the energy flowing? Where is it lingering or stuck perhaps? Just listening to what your body's telling you at this time. Great. We're gonna bend, sweep, reach. Hands come down to heart center. Okay, cinnamon raisin bread is still in the oven, I had to check. All right, hands are by our side. Inhale, bend, sweep, reach on up. Hands come to heart, and we're gonna stay in your position, but just come on down to a nice chair pose. So hips avoid the tilt back. Some of us, you see us in chair like this. Yeah, that's not too hard for anybody. What's trickier is coming up. Tail tucks a bit, and really just sinking in. Uddiyana Bandha, our core lock, is tucked and pulling up and in. Shoulders are relaxed, and arms can be overhead. Nice. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And sweep, reach on up. Hands come to heart. Come to the front of your mat. Bend, sweep, reach. Fold. Hands come to the shins, step back into our high plank position and hold high plank for a moment. Maybe rock on the toes, forward and back. And then come to stillness, drawing into the middle core line. And then either dropping the knees or keeping the knees up as you lower to your bellies for a moment. We're gonna come up to Sphinx. Sphinx is a nice supported bit of a back bend. Toes are pointed behind us. Shoulders are over the elbows. Hands are nice and wide. Collarbone shines. Breathing into the back body. And then taking a gaze over one shoulder and the other shoulder. Coming to center and lowering down. Hands come by the side of the ribs. We're going to inhale, press ourselves up and back into child's pose. So your knees can be really wide, hips sinking back. If you have that pillow or bolster, you may use that as a support. This is a supported child's pose, and if you have really, tight hips or lower back, this is a great way to do it. Or just coming to child's pose and breathing. Feel your back body releasing. And in this moment, know that you are doing your best, and that is enough. Telling yourself, I am enough. I can't tell you what a powerful practice that is to do daily. It's transformative, really. I am enough. There's so many reasons why we need to tell ourselves that more, but I think you can catch my drift as to why it's so important for most of us. A couple more breaths. If you're in supported child's, maybe switch your cheek to the other side for a moment. Excellent. And then walking the hands back, coming on up and finding your way onto your mat. Legs coming out long in front of you. Sit bones, sit down underneath. Nice tall spine. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, bending at the waist, bending the knees perhaps, and just coming forward. And just with a straight spine, feeling that draping over the legs. Perhaps this is it. If you would like to reach for your toes, you may. Or perhaps they are on your shins or on your side. Just getting that nice forward reach with the torso. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, come a little deeper. Breathing. Awesome. Walk on up. So we're going to squeeze in the right knee. Give it a little squeeze. And then take the opposite arm. Wrap it around that leg across your body. Inhale, lengthen. And then bring that hand behind you and just gaze over the shoulder for a twist. Breathing here. Imagining that string pulling up at the top of your head and pulling you up and gazing farther. Excellent. And release. Bring both legs down, shake them out. Squeeze in the left knee here for a moment. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, wrap the opposite arm around. Other hand comes behind you, lift, lengthen in, gaze. Rinsing, ringing. And releasing, nice, shaking it out. We're gonna scoot the buns to the legs, bring in the knees and roll on back for a moment. And just rocking here. This is another place to play with, where do you feel tension or what feels yummy? Upper back, lower back. Just kind of roll the knees around, maybe figure eights or circles or just side to side. And then when you're ready, place the feet on the earth. We're going to come into bridge pose for a moment here. So feet are hip width apart. Hands come by your side, planted into the earth. Pressing with your feet, your hips lift off the earth. Tuck the shoulders a little. Jaw is relaxed, gaze is calm. And if this is comfortable for you, you can clasp the hands underneath the spine And snuggle, that's my new word. Snuggle the shoulders underneath the spine and just breathe here. Opening the heart, strengthening the legs, finding calm no matter what's going on. Release the hands and slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Gonna bring the bottoms of the feet together, open up the legs, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Hands can gently press on the thighs to lengthen out the spine. Just breathe into that sensation for a moment, maybe pressing into one leg, then another. It's all about listening to what you need, your body needs. That's the key here. Taking your right hand, placing it on your belly, your left hand on your heart, and just closing your eyes and feeling your breath flow like an ocean wave through the belly, to the chest, and back down. Listening to your breath. What does it feel like flowing through your lungs? What does it sound like? How does it feel once it's all gone out of your lungs? And how does it feel when you fill it back up? Just drawing inward. And your eyes can blink open. You can release your hands. Give the knees a nice squeeze into the chest. Plant the feet on the earth. Taking the right leg up to the sky, crossing it over, kind of like we did earlier, like you're drinking tea or coffee in a chair. So you're making a nice figure four. You're flexing through the top foot. You're going to bring the hands out to the side in the T-shaped position. And then you're going to drop that foot. Oh, that top foot's going to come across your body and meet the floor. Feel free to adjust your footing here if this doesn't feel right. And then you're going to gaze in the opposite direction over the hand. And just breathing into the sensations. Being intentional about where our breath goes in our body matters. If we're just breathing in our top of our chest cavity all day long in a tight, tense, anxious way, we're not maximizing the use of this beautiful gift of oxygen we have. So really be intentional about where I'm going to take this inhale and I'm going to send it to my, my hips right now, my right hip for me. Think about where you want to send that breath to create space, create a sense of safety to let go. It's very important. Good. Bring the gaze to the ceiling and slowly bringing the legs in, bringing both knees into your chest, perhaps bicycling them, releasing them out somehow, or drawing some circles with your legs. And then releasing both feet back to the earth. Before we come to the other side, we're going to do one more bridge pose. So hands plant beside you and lifting the hips from the feet pressing in, shoulders snuggle, and clasping the hands under the spine. And just breathing here, relaxing the jaw and the eyes. You can gaze at the ceiling or close your eyes and turn inward and breathe. And release the hands and slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. This time we're going to come into knock knee pose. So your feet come to the outer edges of the mat and your knees drop in together. You can take that one hand to belly, one to heart here for just a moment and take some nice ocean breaths. Just releasing the lower back, the hips. sending you all that good cinnamon raisin smell. Something about baked goods. Anyway. Releasing and bringing the feet right back underneath and lifting the opposite leg now across the thigh, coming into your figure 4. Feet are flexed and arms come out to a T, and slowly dropping that top foot across the body to meet the floor, adjusting as needed, and then your gaze comes out the opposite direction, sending your breath to where it needs to be right now, where it would be most of service to your body in this moment. You'll notice as you breathe into these places, you'll feel slow release. And that's kind of the idea with leaning in life, or our yoga practice, or whatever presents a bit of challenge or discomfort. Running away in fight or flight mode is only going to prolong the inevitable. We need to learn how to be present with the discomfort by breathing and leaning in and trusting that with just a bit of awareness of ourselves, we can really get through anything. But we gotta be gentle and listen. Very good. Gaze comes to the ceiling. Bring your knees on in, give them a nice hug. You're gonna rock front and back in a moment here. Front, back, and then quickly coming up, not quickly, but ending our practice with an inversion. So perhaps your feet are up in shoulder stand, or if you have that pillow or a block, you can place that pillow or block under your hips, coming into Viparita Karani, or waterfall, which is just lovely. You know, I'll go to hot yoga classes and work my butt off, and then when it comes to the inversion, I have no shame in just sticking a block under there, because it's just so yummy, and it's just so good for your body to be upside down. And so this is a nice easy way to get your legs above your heart, recycle some of that blood and that oxygen to your heart. Maybe roll your ankles around while you're up here, or perhaps if you're in shoulder stand, coming into plow, knees bend, feet come behind the head. Keep your hands on your back unless your feet touch the floor. If your feet do come to the floor, then you can release. Otherwise, just support your back. If you're in shoulder stand, maybe you want to play with legs. Viparita Karani, maybe coming into some straddles, just really feeling your body. Excellent. If you're in plow, slowly rolling back up to your shoulder stand. If you're in waterfall, begin to release the block from behind you and using your hands to guide you slowly back to the earth. Feet come down, legs come out into a nice wide shape, arms come out wide. Closing your eyes and maybe taking a big overhead stretch, 5-pointed star. And exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, squeeze it in. Squeeze really tight, take a big breath. And release. Arms and legs down by your side. Coming into your little mini Shavasana. And in Shavasana, it's so important to just drop everything and be still. Coming into natural breath and just adjusting to where your body feels most relaxed. We'll be here for about a minute or two. Just find your place of stillness. Beginning to find some small movements in your fingers and toes. And just finding bigger movements, perhaps rolling wrists around and ankles. Maybe taking a big overhead stretch. Just coming back into this space. And when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest and roll onto your right side and just pause there for a moment. And I'd like to just share a quick reading from one of my favorite authors and metaphysical lecturer and teacher. Her name is Louise Hay, and her book Heart Thoughts has some incredible teachings. So I'd like to read for you a quick passage. And the affirmation associated with this reading that you can say to yourself right now is, I am good enough. If there is any belief within you that says you can't have or you're not good enough, say to yourself, I am willing to let that belief go. I do not have to believe that anymore. Please do not struggle. It is not hard work. You are just changing a thought. You were born to enjoy life. Affirm that you are now willing to open yourself up to the abundance and prosperity that is available everywhere. Claim your birthright here and now. Say to yourself, I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. That which you have declared is already accomplished in consciousness and now becomes manifest in your experience. And slowly begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Closing our small practice with your eyes closed, hands come to your thighs. We'll inhale, we'll reach up to the sky, hands come above head. Exhale, hands come to heart center. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you live a life of ease and well-being. May you have yummy raisin bread or whatever makes you happy. We bring our thumbs to our third eye. We bow to each other as we say, Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this little practice session. I would like to post more, and if you have any requests of, kinds of things you're interested in, perhaps, poses, areas in the body you want to explore, or affirmations, or areas of yourself you would really like help in, I'd love to design videos based upon your needs. So thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and remember, try to lean in to these moments with a calm presence and using your breath, because it can be very transformative. On that note, time to check on my raisin bread. Have a lovely day. Bye.